Alright, this is going to be a tutorial on most Eisley Spaceport for LSW2. This also does apply to TCS for Super Stories and ILs because you don't have EBB in those categories, and then you don't have EBB in this game either. Yeah, not everything will apply from each game, but some stuff will. What I'd like to do is, since I start, I'd like to tag 3PO and then tag, whoops, so tag 3PO and then tag Ben and then jump into speeder. And then just come out right here. If you're standing in the right spot, the guy cannot shoot you, so you can just force that whole thing. The speeder's in kind of a bad spot just because it'll like to pull me away when I'm trying to get back in it later on, so I'll push it over a little bit. You want to stand right in this corner, and then call him player 2. That's like the most consistent way I found to do that. And then I also like to tag Luke here, because sometimes if you don't do that, the game's camera, so this all only applies to LSW2, but the game will like to pull you up and switch you to R2. So you want to jump off with Luke just to make sure that the game does not do that. It's also worth mentioning that that method of doing the drop-in warp does not work in TCS on PC. There's a completely different setup. So this tutorial is really only going to be about how to do the spaceport, either the speeder out of bounds, and then also the bomb skip. Yeah, right. So what you need to do here is you need to put Luke in this corner and then just push the speeder behind the transition. The reason I put Luke in this corner is that way the droids are not on screen, so when you call Obi-Wan back in, he doesn't call in as a droid. But basically the way you do this is you want to push Y or whatever your button is to get inside the speeder, and then drop out in midair, and then drop him back in once he's fully in the speeder, and then drop out player 2. And then here's where it gets kind of tricky. So as you're moving back, you move back very slowly, and because if you go too far back, then it will not work. You'll just drop out of bounds, and the camera will be really bad, and it'll be moving everywhere, and it will be really hard to do. So there's kind of like this like wall right here on the side. You just kind of want to ride along it, and then when you get back here, you can just kind of push against it and make sure you're holding just slightly to the right, just so you're kind of slightly moving over. And then you want to, as soon as you get around that wall, you want to push to the left to hug that wall right there. Then you just kind of want to ride along that wall all the way through. Be very careful that you don't go too far out, because you will have to redo the whole trick because the speeder will just fall completely out of bounds. Yeah, the only real thing is just make sure you're hugging that wall. Alternatively, you can jump out of the speeder right at the beginning of the trick, and then just walk back and walk onto the floor the whole way through. Yeah, that's how you get the speeder out of bounds. Then you want to come over here, tag Luke, and walk over here, step on these buttons. What I like to do is tag R2 because he can walk under that a little bit sooner than all other characters. Yeah, and then now we have this long cutscene. I'll probably just edit this out of the video. Alright, so now we're gonna go on to bomb skip. We're just gonna go through this hallway, go up this grapple, come through here. Now it is also worth mentioning that in TCS, doing it this way is a lot harder. So I'd recommend just building this little thing right here and then going up. But if you want to do the fast way, this is how you would do it. So in this game, you can just double jump. You can just do a fast double jump right up onto that ledge. On TCS, you have to jump on this pole, kind of on the side. It's very hard to land on it because the tarp is slippery, so it likes to push you off. You have to land up there, and then you can double jump up there. But in this game, you can just do that and just double jump right up. Then you want to jump on this. Whoops. You want to jump on this ledge, and then jump up here. It is also worth mentioning you can actually get bomb skip from down there. It's just really, really precise. I would not recommend it. I've never even really gotten it to work. You want to come over to here, stand along this like edge, like along right here, and then you want to do a big super jump. And a super jump basically just means that. So if you spam with Han, you'll see he kind of gets like a little bit of a boost of height. And if you kind of like delay it a little bit, you'll see he doesn't really get that boost of height. Now if you delay it a lot, like that, you'll see he still gets that big boost. You want to get that. So spamming will get you super jump, and then like a really long delay will get you an even better super jump. You can spam for this. That is how I recommend doing it in TCS, because in TCS it works really well to spam. This game is a little harder to spam. Whatever way it works for you. I like to just delay it like that, and then you just kind of want to spam as you go to the store. If you do it right, you will just barely make it in. And then for this room, I just kind of run through it. This room can be a little bit annoying because they like to shoot you off the dewback. But I usually try to call Chewbacca in this room. Sometimes he'll call in, sometimes he won't. Doesn't really matter. And then, so this is where, so this specific way of doing spy fight skip does not work in TCS, but it is way faster in this game. So basically what you want to do is you just want to knock, you just want to hit 3PO once. So he's missing an arm. Then you just tag him and move him over to here. Make sure you do not leave this first little area. And then drop him out, and then you just kind of want to push him to the left of the spy. Push him a little too far to the left, about right there. And then from here you can just walk right into the ship. I don't know why this works, but basically just removing any limb from 3PO makes it to where when you force push him, you can force push him infinitely and he will never deactivate. You can also drop out player 1 here just so that you don't get pulled into the cutscene. You don't have to though. It's really just like if you force push him too far and you need to drop out Obi-Wan to make sure you don't pull into the cutscene, then you can. But from here you can just walk right into the ship. Yeah, that's it. I know this is a really hard level, so I just decided to make this. Yeah.